Welcome to Coffey Talk, real stories from real people. I'm your host, Kate Coffey Bacon, and every Monday we'll sit down for honest conversations about successes, failures, and the lessons we learn from both. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk. Welcome back to Coffey Talk. Today's conversation is one I know is going to stick with you. I'm joined by the amazing, is such an understatement, dazzling, phenomenal Tiffany Allen. Tiffany is the director of the partner program at Coffey. Notably, she is a leader, a mother. She has built a career rooted in passion, purpose, and persistence. Tiffany, what I love most about your story is your perspective on legacy. So in this episode, we are going to dive into what legacy really means, how integration beats balance, why mentorship matters from all sides, and how staying loyal to yourself can create the kind of impact that lasts far beyond any role or job title. So that is a packed episode for you today. Tiffany, I'd love for you to start by telling us a little bit of your story, what your journey has looked like, balancing career, motherhood, leadership, and how you came to define legacy as a ripple instead of a destination.
Oh my goodness. I love the ripple. You just made my heart warm, honestly, by that introduction. I appreciate that, Kate, so much. I think my story really began as a single mom finding herself again many years ago. Met a phenomenal man and had two amazing kids. We were not the right fit for one another ultimately. And when I left, it was because I realized I was no longer myself. I was no longer Tiffany. I was no longer the person that you see today, Kate. And I was that once before. And I knew that I'd lost myself, and it was time for me to be true to myself. And more than anything, be true for my daughters. I had two young girls, and I remember the moment that I decided to kind of rip off the Band-Aid. And I knew in the back of my head that I needed to do it for, honestly, a few years. And when I did it, I just kind of fell further than I thought I was going to. I was proud of myself for doing it. I knew it was the right thing. But even in loss of myself and knowing that I needed to find myself, I fell deeper for a bit. And it was okay. It was okay because I put those two girls first in that moment, not myself. And then I climbed my way back out. And I'm so thankful for everybody that was around me, because in the midst of all that, I had the same job. You know, the career didn't change. My family dynamic certainly changed. And I was able to lean into things that I was good at the time. I wasn't good at being a single mom in the beginning. It took me a while to find my feet, but I definitely leaned into my career. And I found, a greater belief in myself there. That was the easy one, right? Figuring out your fitting as a single mom was a little bit more difficult, but step by step in the community that was around me. I lived in a city where I had no family. So I really had to rely on relationships around me. I worked from home. I've worked from home for almost 20 years, so I didn't have coworkers that I could see every day. But I dug deep, and I really, I love finding myself again. It felt good. It felt true. And more than anything, my daughters saw it. My daughters saw it very quickly. And I realized that, I'm not doing this just for myself. I wanted to be a bigger, better version of myself. Actually, I don't think I wanted to be bigger. I wanted to be a little bit smaller at that time, for sure. But definitely a better version of myself. And they watched it. And they were like little cheerleaders in the background, as well as my co-workers that, yes, were remote, or as long as people that I found in the channel that we work within. It truly does not matter how far you fall. There are peaks and valleys. I talk about this all the time with people I work with and my kids. You just have to take a deep breath, have faith in yourself, and dig deep. Because I've climbed myself right back up. And I do find that I think I am a bigger and better version of myself than I've ever been before. I'm more confident in myself, in my ability, in my personal life, in my career, but also in being that mentor to my daughters and to other women and men. Yes, men. I promise you too, in my world and in my sphere. So.
I love so much of your story, Tiffany, and, very personally, I have had so many, I call them mentor moments with you that you probably don't even know about. I think I've known you for maybe 2 years now. And in our passing.
Four.
I've only been in the Dynamics channel. Are you ready? This community summit is 3 years.
It is funny because remember you were walking through in an all white suit
I
and
was.
I with a coffee cup that looked like it was about to spill and I gave you a tumbler with a lid.
What a great story in how I met you, and such a testament to the person that you are. You look out for people. You care about people. You had so many little moments with you, and I call them like little mentor moments where you just have given me a sentence, a moment where I'm like, oh wow, that's a new way of looking at that. And I love that you do that. You look out for everybody. You are always so authentic and true. And I know whatever you say is the truth. And I
Always from the heart,
appreciate.
that's for sure.
Right.
I lived in a world of codependence for a long time, and I did what I did to keep things peaceful. And it didn't make me feel great about myself, and it certainly didn't build what I needed in my life. And I think one thing that I always believe in is that you can enter a room and give somebody a smile, and it can change the entire dynamic of their mood and of that room. So I want to be around positive people, and the easiest way for us to create that positivity, I think, is starting with ourselves. And so that's just me and genuine to who I am. I am always a glass is half full type of person, and I want to make sure that I try and bring that forward. And I've learned a ton. I'm 50 years old. No, I'm 51, and I
I'm
love
25 and holding. So
do it, do it. But when you're ready to hit that 50 mark, it is kind of shocking and a little liberating. I love being 50. I was super excited to turn 50. They call me Tifty. Tiff, 50, Tifty. Let's put it all
Tiffany.
together, right? And I just embrace it because I've learned so much and I've been surrounded by so many great people, starting with my parents. They're still on this earth and still married and the most phenomenal people. And my dad is larger than life, and my mom is just rooted in true, genuine goodness. And I'm thankful for that. They've been huge forces in my kids' life. And when I started to see that I wasn't going to be that for my kids, I'm like, wait, no, 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 no. No. If I can do this at work all day long and I can go to a conference and I can make Kate smile or somebody else. Kate's always smiling, by the way, guys, and always has a beautiful rose of flower on of some sort, which I love. I love a fashionable moment. If I can bring some of that positivity back into, their world, our world, all of our worlds, being kind is the key component for me.
it is. And I love some of the things that you've been echoing towards, and the way that you frame legacy. You talked about it a little bit with your daughters, and you had that moment of, oh my gosh, they're watching. And you talk about your family and where you come from, and you were watching your family. And so I love that your view is not about it being a corner office, or it's not about climbing a ladder. It's in those everyday choices, atomic habits, if you will, like in 1% change. The way those ripples can carry forward and impact everyone around you.
We got on here and I forced Kate to go to TikTok, you guys. So it's
I'm
happening.
on TikTok now.
I know. I'm so proud of you. And I've been on TikTok for a while. Honestly, my girls were like, I've been talking about doing it, talking about doing it. I finally did it October of last year. And if you see me speak in our channel, I'll say there's always one funny tagline. I want to be TikTok famous for the work mullet, right? And I'm trying to be funny with the work mullet, but truly the work mullet is like so core to who I am as a person. I've worked from home for almost 20 years. Reese is 20, about to turn 21. And started working from home when she was 2. And the first year was miserable. I was like doing laundry, out in the cul-de-sac, playing with the other moms that their full-time job was those kiddos. And yes, that was their full-time job. But I had an employer relying on me. And I'm out doing play dates in the middle of the day and walking down to the park. I figured out at the end of the year, this is an amazing opportunity of flexibility. I've got to figure this out. And one thing that I did, and this is partly my mom, 100%, I grew up in the South, and my mom did not go to the grocery store without her lipstick on, ever. Like, you brush your hair, you get your shit together before you're walking out the door.
That's right.
Well, I may not be walking out the door to go to work, but I absolutely have that mentality. I have a better day. I have a more productive day. I think I create a more productive day in my environment. Granted, I'm an empty nester now and the girls aren't here, but that's the way the girls were raised. And they very much get up, get dressed, have their breakfast, get prepared for the day. I love the work ethic that I've seen instilled in them. And I know it's partly the way that I ran our house, ran our family. And it wasn't like with that iron fist. It was more like, hey, let's have a great day. It was a dance party in the kitchen. The music is always on in the morning for me, never the TV. It's like, what's going to make me feel better in the morning? Some great music, but I need to present myself the best I possibly can. I hate the phrase, fake it till you make it. I'm not a fake it till you make it. Be the person you want to be. Be the professional, be the executive, be that powerhouse that you want to be. You're not faking it. Just little bits every day that you're going to be more and more powerful as you bring that into your world. Work mullet, professional up top, anything goes down below, and be what you want to be. You know, I just listened to you and your sister's episode, and there needs to be a part 2, 1,000%.
We will do a part 2. I know where to find her.
You know where to find her. I love that. When she started talking about she had FOMO, and the time that she really chose to slow down is like, I've got to be the best version of me for my kids. That's what got me here. That's what forced me to rip off that Band-Aid years ago. And I'm so glad that I saw that I needed to be the best version for my kids. But being the best version for myself has never felt better for me personally.
The thing that I'm seeing here in what you're saying, I'm going to make a couple connections.
Please.
A lot of times as women, we have heard this message so many times, and it might be a millennial phrase, but work-life balance, right? We're told you have to find this balance, and you have to be, a kick-ass professional, and you have to be all the things as a mom. What I love that I am hearing from you is that you have learned to turn this balance. We'll use balance. You have made it more of an integration into your life. You're saying that, playing in the cul-de-sac with my kids and all these other women, that's their job. But, and then you're doing all of the things at work, and you're doing all the things on TikTok, and you're just doing all of the things. Everything is integrated in your life. It has just become a seamless one thing to another. And you said, I'm an empty nester now. And if I can speak to the women that are listening right now about being an empty nester, no one warns us of what that is going to do when you have been an integrated mother. When you're being a parent has been every part of what you're doing. You're on a phone call and you're texting your daughter. Or your son. That is integrated into your life. It's all one storyline. And now part of the storyline is gone. I looked around like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Like, no one warned you about that. And the motherhood doesn't stop. The role just changes.
Doesn't it?
Yes. It still is very much there. I'm just not making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches anymore. I'm hyping my daughter up because, it's a big test or whatever. It just changes.
It does change, and it's a fun change, right, Kate? Because, and honestly, you mentioned the mentorship. I mean, I feel like I've been that for the kids, definitely. But I also love seeing that even their friends or one of the kids that they recently graduated college, and they'll reach out to me on LinkedIn, Tiff, can you help me? This is my resume, or I really screwed up this interview. What should I do afterward? There's all sorts of ways that we continue to mother these adult kids, which is so odd, so different, very fun. It allows you to continue to evolve as yourself, right? But the other piece, Kate, is my parents. They're getting older. It's almost like I've kind of traded in the kiddos and for my parents, and being able to support them better right now is really important to me too. So it is an evolution, and it is integrating that into your daily life. I totally agree.
You said you've experienced mentorship from both men and women. What is one piece of advice that's really stuck with you? And how has it shaped the way you mentor other people?
Oh my goodness. It is from my first boss in this space. And I worked with him for 10 years. I worked with him prior to even being in the Microsoft channel. We worked in the mortgage industry together. I was doing marketing, he was doing product development, and he messaged me one day and said, hey, Tiff, do you have somebody that can help you with marketing? I'm like, me? He had faith and he had trust in me. I learned 82 acronyms of Microsoft, over a few years. I started doing the marketing. Then he gave me the opportunity to move on to the sales side of it. And the one piece of advice that I would give you all is be yourself. I'll never forget when we went to our first trade show and I had to get up and I was doing the bulk of the presentation. Mike is the technical guy and I was more I was the Barbie, he was the Ken doll, but he was a really smart Ken doll, very, very smart Ken doll. So he was always on the technical side and I was there to kind of bring the energy and the fun. And I was very nervous going into this presentation and he looked at me and he was like, Tiffany, like you could sell anything that you want to sell. You can promote anything that I would give you. Be yourself. Like you have full permission to always be yourself. Because you being yourself is exactly what I need here. Like, I don't need your technical expertise, just be yourself. And I melted in that moment. I thought, he trusts me. And that's what that meant to me. That meant he has absolute full trust in me. So when you think that you need to become X, Y, Z, remember, the root of this is who you are as a person. That's what likely attracted your employer to hire you. That's likely what attracts your friends to you, right? Continue to be yourself as you educate yourself and you learn more and you dive in, but never forget who that is. So just be yourself, have faith in yourself, continue to make sure that that rings true into your profession, and I think you're going to be really successful.
And to your point, we all bring something so special to the table. Come as you are, because your brand, what you're bringing to the table is there's no one like you. And that is what sets you apart as a professional. That's what helps set your brand apart, professional and your personal brand.
Yes.
Times are tough. Sometimes are, life. It's ups and downs and all the things in between. We've all seen that meme where, it's like our careers are not linear. They're up and down. And sometimes we show up at 100%. Sometimes we show up at 15%. But as long as we're moving forward, we're moving forward, right? So question for you, what does staying this loyalty we're talking about, this authenticity, what does that look like when you're facing a crossroad or a challenge?
I would say I'm probably in it right now a little bit, and most people might not even know it. Just a struggle personally within our family does cause me to bring some of the energy and the spirit that I normally have into my day, into my personal day, into my work day. And I will say surrounding myself with people that are positive and encouraging is the best thing I can do for myself. I recently was on a trip and you were on it and you may not have even known it, but I was, I've got a family member that's not well, and it was weighing on me so hard, and people were like, Tiffany, should you go? And I didn't have the opportunity to go because of work, and I understand that happens, and my family understands that. But in hindsight, can I tell you how thankful I was? I wasn't working from home that week, that I was surrounded by people that I knew could build me up. I was surrounded by this community that really does challenge me to continue to remain positive even in really challenging times. So I guess in those moments when you can't find it, look to another, look to somebody that you trust, look to one of your friends, lock arms and know that they've got you and they've got your back every day. And if I am home, that's my partner, and my husband is amazing at literally giving me that love and support. But goodness gracious, if I'm on the road, I know that I have got a whole swarm of men and women in this community that will take care of me. And I'm thankful, beyond thankful.
I love what you said. When you don't have the power to stand on your own, look to your community, because man, we are there. We are there to straighten your crown, or, a quick vent in the bathroom, or whatever you need. Just
tight squeeze in that moment that you just need it.
Right. Tiffany, thank you for being so open today. You have given us so many takeaways. I love legacy as a ripple, just that continuing on. It doesn't stop. It's a ripple in a pond. The power of integration, importance of mentorship, and man, what it looks like to unapologetically lead. You really inspire me. with that. I hope if you are listening, you are leaving today with a new perspective on what legacy can mean in your own life. Remember, it's not always about titles. It's about a ripple of impact that you can create every single day. Tiffany, thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep showing up authentically, keep creating ripples, and let's build our legacy. Thank you for joining us today on Coffey Talk. A special thanks to my guests for sharing their story and to you, the listener, for being a part of this conversation. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a Monday morning chat. Until next time, I'm Kate Coffey Bacon, and this has been Coffey Talk.